Guys, questions 11, 12, 13, and 14. Now, to find the slope between 2 points, x1, y1, x2, and y2, we use the slope formula. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x of 1. The slope is also equal to the change in the y divided by the change in the x, or we can call that rise over run, what a rise controls if we're moving up or we're moving down, and the run controls if we're moving to the right or if we're moving to the left. Then we have some definitions to find the x-intercepts and y-intercepts. To find the x-intercept, set y equal to 0, solve for x. To find the y-intercept, set x equals to 0, solve for y. Then we have slope-intersect form. Y equals to mx plus b, and we use that form to graph our line. So we're going to answer questions 11 through 14. And number 11 says you want to find the slope of the line contained in the given points, 6, -9, and -1, 1. I'm going to label them. X of 1 is 6. Y of 1 is going to be -9. X of 2 is going to be -1. Y of 2 is going to be +1. Let's plug that into our slope formula. M equals to 1 minus, in parentheses, -9, divided by x of 2, which is -1, minus x of 1, which is going to be 6. Two negatives next to each other makes a positive. So 1 plus 9 is going to be 10. -1 minus 6. You owe your bank $1. You spend 6 more. Now that means you owe your bank $7. So that's -7. So my slope is going to be -10 over 7, or -10/7. Now we're going to answer question number 12. And before I do that, the slope of the line is -10 over 7. Graph the line by plotting the x and y intercepts. -4x minus 24y minus 24 equals to 0. We want to find the x-intercept, so we're going to substitute the equation for y. But before I do that, -4x, matter of fact, different color. Let's use blue. Nope, I have blue already. Let's use red. We have -4x minus 24y equals, well, minus 24 equals to 0. What I want to do is I first want to add 24 to both sides. -4x minus 24y equals 24. And I want to use that equation to find my x-intercept and my y-intercept. The x-intercept, set y equal to 0. So that's going to be -4x minus 24 times 0 equals to 24. -24 times 0 is going to be 0, so that's canceled. -4x equals to 24. To get x by itself, we're going to divide both sides by -4. X equals to -6, which means the x-intercept is -6. I'm going to write that over here. X-intercept is -6. And that means at the value of -6 on the x-axis, that's where my line will cross at. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, right here. Put that in red. Now, I want to do the y-intercept, and I'm going to do it in purple. So the y-intercept, x equals to 0. So it's going to be negative 4 times 0 minus 24y equals to 24. Negative 4 times 0 is gone. Negative 24y equals to 24. We're going to divide both sides by negative 24. That's gone. Y equals to negative 1. So on the y-intercept, I'm going to put negative 1. So that's going to be the y-axis. I plotted both of my intercepts. Now I'm going to graph the line. To the best of my abilities, of course, because graphing is not my strong suit. All right. And that's how my line should look. Negative 4x minus 24y minus 24 equals 0. All right. So that was number 12. We're now going to do number 13. And we want to graph the line using the slope and the y-intercept. So for slope and y-intercept, it must be in the form of y equals to mx plus b. So I'm going to do number 13 in black. Okay, make it a little bit bigger. Number 13, which is over here. So I should erase that. 13. 3x plus 2y equals 6. We want to solve for y. Get y by itself. The first step is to get y by itself is we're going to subtract both sides by 3x. Two y equals to negative 3x plus 6. And in order to get y by itself, we're going to divide every term by positive 2. The 2 simplify out. So y equals to negative 3/2 x. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. My slope is 3/2. My y-intercept is 3. Now we're going to graph this line. So the y-intercept is 3. So in the y-axis, at the value of 3, I'm going to put my first coordinate right here. Now I want to work my slope. I'm going to scroll back up here. The slope is rise over run. The numerator controls if you go up or down. The denominator controls if you go left or right. So my numerator here is 3. So because my numerator here is 3, from my y-intercept, I'm going to move up 3 units. My denominator controls if I go left or right, which means because it's positive, I'm going to go right 2 units. Change my color up. I'll put that in orange. So for my y-intercept, I'm going to move up 3 units. 1, 2, 3. And then after that, I'm going to move 2 units to the right. And this is going to be my next point right here. Once I have 2 points, I then can sketch the line. To the best of my abilities, of course. And that is the line of 3x plus 2y equals 6. And that is it for question number 13. For number 14, which we're going to move on to right now, it says identify whether the slope is negative, positive, 0, or undefined. Now, here is an image that you can look at. If the slope is positive, the line increases as you go left to right. If the slope is negative, there is some sort of decrease as you're moving from left to right. If the slope is a constant, which we call a zero slope, from left to right, the slope stays horizontal. Rather, the line is horizontal, completely horizontal. And if the slope is undefined, it's like walking up on a wall. It is a vertical line. Number 14, this line is horizontal. Because this line is horizontal, that means the slope of this line is going to be 0. All right, guys, hope that made sense. Hope you was able to understand this question. These questions, number 11, 12, 13, and 14. Hope to see you soon. Take care.